Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to PCM23 Lions. This is episode 36. We're going to open with news. Real life news. Henok Mullabron has signed with Astana for next season. Thank you, Stephen Moore, for bringing that to my attention today. And I'm not sure if he's going to be signing with us another year, though, as one, we're getting awfully close to his potential. And two, he may come at an extra cost. And I have a very limited set of dossier points this year that is wreaking a little bit of havoc on what we may end up doing. But it's only mid-June. We've still got a month and a half before things are going to come up with that. I'm still having nightmares about that team time trial. That went horribly awry. This, not a team time trial, but still another opportunity to practice our craft in the discipline. Looks like 87 is a little hard to be trying to push, but Benona sets off a little bit better than Arab. Arab +5 today, but terrible prologuer time trialist to begin with. But we're looking at a 79.80, which is making him really quick. You can see he's passing delaying out on track, even at just an 86, and was first at the first time check. Very early, though. There's only a few riders that have even set off so far. And we're going to have to back off to that 86 as well for Benona. My goal today, absolutely crush this thing. I want to win this stage if possible, but that's the requirement anyway. This is the last two sponsor objectives of the year, and we're looking at, first place for Arab. Over a minute ahead, but he was only third one across the line. Martin Vandenberg. Vandenberg, my old sprinter from a year ago. Or no. Gosh, when would that have been? 2 years ago he was our sprinter, huh? Benona. Third. Okay, third. Arab still on top. Matt DeVilliers heading out. He's got a nice +2, but with a 60 base prologue time trial, he's not going to do very well. The reason why I care about this race has nothing to do with any of the existential factors that are, we have a sponsor objective, we need to meet the objective, we need to improve our funding. No, that's secure. This is all just about pride of following through and finishing what we've started, finishing the season as strong as we started it. So doing what we can to win a stage here the rest of the way as the other DeVilliers takes off. This one is Josh. Josh, a little bit better in the discipline, but with a 0 race day condition, just does not offer much in terms of this. At 10K, this is mostly prologue in terms of the rating, but actually only by a little more than half. So it's definitely leaning towards prologue over the split on the time trial rating, but it does come down a bit to both of those ratings. As you can see, DeVilliers is going to have to settle in on an 85 for a moment. I think we can now push an 86 to get him the rest of the way. He looks to be doing fairly well here as he approaches the line. Yeah, 21st, minute 33 down. Arab still on top. Coming up soon, Samuels. Great hope for the GC portion if we don't manage to win a stage. The thing about this 5-stage race is that 3 of them are sprints. This year, I'm done. We are not bothering with the sprints until I have some sprinters. It's very few of you. It's a very small portion, but I'm really rather tired of getting just constant criticism for not changing it up in terms of the sprints when there's nothing, literally nothing, that we could do to change the outcome. We're not going to win sprints with this sprint team. You can win the other areas, but the sprints, that attribute is just much too important, much too reliant. It comes down to the last kilometer, and if you don't get a proper lead out, you're not gonna. Oh, Samuels, -4. Ouch. He is not our hope for the GC now. Stage 4. This is stage 3. Stage 4 is Punchy, and Retaosier is our hope for this race. And now with Samuels on a -4 here, it's guaranteed that we are shifting our focus to Retaosier for this, or Arab for that matter, as Arab sits on top of the standings as of right now, could be picking up that stage win with a simple punchy stage on stage 4, expecting that the field will split a bit but ultimately come down to same time. Any sort of advantage such as this should see you comfortably in charge by the end of the standings, and if we win the overall, that's better than winning a stage. Samuel's way off the pace though, way down the standings. Nearly gets past there. 45th overall, 234 down. Just awful run from him. Roteasier gets the +5 as I set him up for this race. Full fitness peak, full objective, and he's got it all nailed down perfectly. So we're looking at an 82 time trial and an 87 prologue rating for him today. Oh boy. That's gonna, well, let's see. That's gonna lean more towards the prologue. So we're looking at an 85. He should be winning this. However, there are a couple in this field who are very, very, very good, and we have definitely not seen them yet. But you can see how he's just flying past Vervecchi here, and really not going very deep. We're able to keep that 87 going for quite a while here. How good was that time? Karim has not gone there. Still other riders out there. 11 seconds ahead of his teammate Arab at the initial time check, and now pushing back on. So we went 86 for just a little bit there. Not quite. Oh, that is blinking red. Shoot, I thought we had a sliver left, but it is first place, 21 seconds ahead of his teammate, and we now have a 1-2 right now. One rider left for us to go, but the big threats to the top of the standings are still yet to see their time on course. As Karim sets off, it's all changed. No one was challenging, and then all of a sudden 2 guys back to back, Henrik Pedersen, and then the next one across the line, Noah Faze, both jump. I hadn't seen any changes in the top 20 at all. And then those two both out of nowhere jump into top 4 positions, including bumping us out of the lead of this thing. So with that in mind, we're not going to win this stage, but the overall is still very much a possibility. And at the very least, right now anyway, we are looking comfortably at a podium for the GC, and that'll make up for the lack of stage win, and I think that's a good trade-off. 22nd for Karim. I wasn't too bothered by what he was up to with a low rating. Overall, though, as a team, outside of Samuels, who really struggled, and the weak prologuers of De Villiers and De Villiers, Matt and Josh, everybody else did pretty good. Our worst time is a minute 8 down, and we've put in a number of quality top 25s right now. The big threat has just set off, and that is Wout van Aert. No one from 5th on down were a threat at all in the GC, but here is Van Aert, who already sits just 4th place overall, so he's ahead of most of the field, and you can see he is flying. He was 3rd at the first time check, and Van Aert goes 2nd, so Roteasier down to 3rd. Fritz, not much of a threat, but here's the other one, Van Dijk. Van Dijk goes 4th, so Roteasier finishes ahead of Van Dijk. Those are 2 guys that were both naturally in the low mid 80s, well above Roteasier. Faze put in the ride of his life. I have no idea what his ratings are. We'll check here in a second to see just how good Faze is. I think he might have been 4th on the favorites list. Okay, so Faze really should have been 3rd, a 79-79 with Van Aert 82-81, Roteasier with a 77-79 base. Of course, we had that wonderful +5 race day condition, and even then it wasn't quite enough to overcome, because presumably these guys had a similar real bonus. Now, I did get the blinking red in the final 400 meters. That cost us probably 2 seconds, 3 seconds at most, so it still wouldn't have been enough. My guess is we would have been right about 7 seconds down had I managed that properly all the way to the line to get that last ounce as we cross the line instead of 400 meters earlier. But outside of that certainly did not cost us 10 seconds. We ran a really good race, but it's still was not enough, even with the +5 race day condition. Arab ends up falling to 7th place. Van Dyke, the other favorite, was a 79.80, so he was just that little bit better. It's amazing that we couldn't get that much more. But again, base for these guys, they all added +4s to what they had. So our big bonus with the +5 race day condition, if they had any bonuses on top of theirs, they would have been much higher, well above the 87, 88. That's why time trials are particularly hard on extreme difficulty in Pro Cycling Manager. I really need to start paying more attention when I go into those time trials and stop making assumptions about one key aspect, as Kareem and Ruteus here just got dropped for no valid reason other than there's a KOM here that this breakaway is overly interested in instead of in trying to recover. And we're leaving these guys behind as we try to make our way back up. You know what? Let's go ahead. We've got 6. They've got 4. We should be able to bridge that gap. But anyway, as I've got 2 guys in the break and trying to go for things, now we're really just looking for the stage honors because Peloton, which has already split because they're not happy with this breakaway and these 10 riders being away. But what we are seeing happen here today is me finding out that after 2 sprint stages, our entire team, bar 1 rider, is 5 minutes down in the GC. After 2 sprint stages. Making the assumption that they would have been on same time other than whoever won, the sprints and picked up whatever time. No, not the case at all. And of course, when I made the discovery, it was the guy who we were supposed to be riding for in the first place, Ruteus here, who I went, oh, you're in 13th? What the heck? I didn't even look at the time at that point. Just went, how is he not in 3rd place? So I was like, okay, screw it. You're not a climber anyway. Let's send you in the break. And if the break wins, you'll get that time. Now we're going to have to change tactics here and protect Ruteus here. I think we use Kareem for that. But Ruteus here is now our leader, as was predicted, but not protecting a podium. 13th, a minute 44 down, and the entire rest of the team is 4.5 to 5 minutes behind, way down the order. Not sure what happened, folks, in 2 sprint stages to see massive time gaps, and our team is far from alone in this matter. There was just huge time gaps across the board. We've got 83k to go. I think this is a good time to take care of water for our once and only time for the day. Breakaway is down to 4 riders and now out to a 4-minute gap as there's 10 riders, it's too many. Business has been put to rest as soon as it got down to 4. So it's allowed our guys to recover at least, but it's also eliminated us from any potential breakaway victory today. At the very least, we have secured a stage podium, but our chances of winning a stage is now looking pretty poor. Peloton pulling back the breakaway 4 down to 3.5. This is going to be our best chance, but how are you going to win here? This has got Wout van Aert written all over it, as it's punchy. So you see the field split up a bit, and then it's going to leave behind sprinters, but leave in the group somebody who can climb and sprint, and Wout van Aert is the strongest no matter how you look at that one, as the Peloton starting to show signs of the fatigue, of the wear and tear. If and when it stays spread apart, we'll find out, but 79 is just not cutting it. We're already going to have to speed up to about 85, and once again we see the yo-yo happening down to 71, 74, 70 something, down to 3 riders off the front. Still 2.5 minutes though to those 3 riders, and just the 2 climbs left, or at least 2 categorized climbs. Slight uphill at the finish line, I believe. Let's double check that one. Yes, but less than 3, so it's just you got to go a little bit late. Back up to 114 riders over the top of that climb, and then the yo-yo starts once again, now 89. Our first guy, Benona, looking like he's going to be done and out the back here soon, which means Josh de Villiers. We want to... I should be protecting Matt, not the other way around. Arab is 85th, so no, this is not about the punchy guys anymore. Now it's about the sprint, and I did not think about that earlier. Kareem is the other one we should be protecting, and then Roteus here, so... Big acceleration. 6 riders getting away. 11K from the finish. Time to respond. I was speeding things up. I was not paying as close of attention as I should have here. Samuels is going to handle the chasing for now as this group of 6 is getting off front, but my team is not very well positioned behind. Arab trying to not leave an opening here. I think he's just about managed to keep that at bay. Samuels is kind of waiting. That front group does get pulled back, but you can see a few more guys on the attack once again. And Kareem has lost contact. Let's get... actually, Roteus here would be a good one to follow. Chase this down, close the gap, be part of the sprint train, I suppose. 2 riders off front, just 13 seconds. Last little hill other than the finish line itself. And Samuel's leading well. We're going to start to speed up. Gel. 5K. Over the bridge here. 4K. Full gas. Are we well set? Maybe. 3K. 2.8. We're going to start sprinting here. $2K. The positioning is good. It's technical. It's going to be hard for anyone to gain on us. 1.3. Oh, but here goes Wout van Aert. And de Villiers does not have what he needs to finish because he was just too tired. Those 4 are going to pull away. Can we get some separation in the field? Regain some time. Inkhorn takes the stage ahead of Van Aert and Toynes, Ballerini, de Villiers, Roteus, Arab, Samuels, all right there. We are all over that group of 13. I would think those 4 should have separation. Our 9 should have separation, and this should see the standings change a bit. Top 4 did not get separation. Sucks to be them. I'm always on the receiving end of this, though, so it's nice to actually get the benefit of the doubt for a change. De Villiers, Roteus, that whole group, we end up on same time, and then the group behind, after that top 13, do get the separation. 51 seconds, though, is not a lot, but that's a small group, and then a minute 47. This will change the standings, but by how much? This much. Roteus here climbs into the top 5. I think that's a good offset for not getting a stage win. Van Aert takes the win overall ahead of Van Dijk, Toynes, Inkhorn. Roteus here gets 5th. Kareem gets 10th. And while we did not get the stage victory, we do get a bonus +5 in the tour. Likewise, at the exact same time, Route of Slovenia was going on, we ended up getting a top 25, and that results in a plus as well. So we pick up a couple pluses here, and that keeps us at our 100% sponsor confidence with 1 minor objective left, period. 1 2-star objective is all we have left. That is the Tour of Austria, the Österreich Tour. And so we've secured 100%. We knew that was a foregone conclusion, but now you can make that official with just 1 race to go. And then we're heading into, July, August. I will go ahead and play out that race, though. 3 punchy stages, 2 mountain stages on the way, so good climbing opportunity. And we obviously know who we want leading the way with that one. Mason Samuels, who just picked up his 2nd career victory that last time out, last episode, has now maxed out that mountain rating at that 78. Now it's about bringing the rest along the hills, the couple rating. The big questions that remain for us is going to be about the signings with so many expiring contracts. Who can we re-sign? What is the cost going to wind up being? Can we get Mason Samuels back? 5 stars shouldn't be that hard, but if we are considered a continental team and his interest is moderate, he could be quite expensive for us. We have a good amount of spare cash, and we are going to have a good increase with the 100% sponsor confidence, but a good increase is like $15,000. He alone may cost a lot more than that. So there's definitely some big ifs in the near future that we'll be trying to answer. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.